All right, a lot of people asked when I did my video about knives for police and security work. You can see up here, they asked about the Spyderco police model, and so that's what we're going to be looking at today.
Where are you going? Get out of the way!
I don't know a lot of police officers who use the Spyderco police model, but I do know a lot of security guards who use this particular knife, and a lot of just regular, everyday people that like the different things that the Spyderco police model brings to the table. I have to admit, I didn't use this as a police officer. I carry it sometimes when I'm going to court because of how thin the knife is, and that's what really strikes me about the Spyderco police model and why I really like it, and it's still kind of in my carry rotation, is that this thing is incredibly thin. If you look at it next to the CRKT Thunderbolt 2 that I carry when I'm on duty, you can see there is an enormous difference in the thickness between these two knives. And even though there's an enormous difference between the thickness of the two knives, if you look at the size of the blades, you can see that the Spyderco police model offers you a whole lot of cutting potential for the size of knife that it is and how well it carries in the pocket. This thing carries in the pocket incredibly easily. I wear it with dress pants all the time, and even though the Spyderco police model is pretty heavy because it doesn't have steel liners, it has an entire steel handle. You can see right here, it's steel all the way around. It's one solid piece for the handle body. It's very strong because it's all one solid piece of steel. The blade is VG10, so it keeps an edge really, really well. I like my Spyderco police model, the full serrade, because it works a little better for the tactical application. And when I bought this knife, I was using it as a security guard and for everyday carry. And I live in Illinois, and I did live in Illinois at the time. And unless you were a security guard working actually at your post or driving or coming to and from work, you weren't allowed to carry a firearm. We didn't have concealed carry at the time, so the best you could come up with was a good solid knife. And this knife managed to flex really nicely between the everyday carry category and the tactical carry category, and I was allowed to carry it around for a long time, both as a security guard and when I wasn't working. And even to school at college, at the time I was in college, nobody cared about you carrying a knife at school. And so I carried it around a whole bunch. And it worked out really well for me. I've actually never sharpened the serrations. I really like Spyderco serrations because they keep their edge a really long time, especially between the serrations and the steel. It works really well to cut twine and rope. And when I was camping a lot, I used to carry this around. This one doesn't have as much wear on it because as I got older and got jobs, I had less time for camping. It's got a pocket clip, but it's not reversible. It only has the one position. I'm not sure if that's changed on the Spyderco police model since when I bought this in the early 2000s. But the tip-down carry never really bothered me. I can switch between different methods and modes with knives and carry as long as they all open through a one-hole or a stud operation with my hand. Back when I bought this, there weren't a whole lot of options on the market for knives that bridge that gap between everyday carry and tactical use. A lot of people were still using fixed blade knives for more tactical use and folding knives that went in a pouch for everyday carry use. But this thing at the time was one of the only games on the market. Now there's a market flooded with this type of thing, but it's still a really great option. I have yet to come across a knife with as large a blade and as good of materials and as good of a design that could flex between EDC and a tactical roll as a Spyderco police model. Now the downsides of it, real simple. You can't take the thing apart. I'm not sure if they changed that because they changed it with the Endura and the Delico later on, but this particular model, it's really nice. The nice flat slab sides would be nice if you wanted to engrave something into it, give it to somebody as a gift, but you can't take the thing apart. There's no screws. It's all pinned and welded in place. The only screws on it are on the pocket clip, which you really have no options for where to put the screws. They might as well have welded that thing on anyway. You guys asked and I listened. That is the Spyderco police model and kind of my take on it after using it for, well, man, probably 15, 16 years now as a security guard and a police officer and for use every day. For a look at more of my knives and getting advanced looks at what's going on, go ahead and check out the Patreon page and my Instagram, where you could have seen this knife a whole lot longer before we started talking about knives for police and security work. Until next week, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. I'd like to thank all the Patreon supporters, and especially the shift supervisor level Patreon supporters that we have listed here. Your contributions are what allows free field training to continue on and become better. Thank you.